Christmas festivities on campus, including the School of the Arts production and also White Christmas. We'll also learn about the many anonymous Samford Twitter accounts and investigate the parting shortages in Beeson Woods.
Our sports reporters will give us an update on Samford athletics, including the volleyball team's first ever trip to the NCAA National Championships and a family legacy in Samford men's basketball. We'll also get the scoop on the 3rd annual Samford Gives Back event. All this plus a surprise from 3 very special Christmas guests coming up this hour.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chanel Terry.
And I'm Ann Monser, and you're watching the Samford News Network. As Samford grows and changes over the years, the holidays never cease to bring some of our favorite traditions. This year I got to experience the hanging of the green, the lighting of the way, and the annual Harry's Coffee House with the rest of the Samford community.
With the ones you love. And on the first Thursday in December, as everyone starts gearing up for finals, Samford pauses to take the time to stir up some holiday cheer with a few key ingredients. The night began in Reed Chapel with the hanging of the green, an Old English tradition that reflects on the meaning of Christmas through responsive readings, candle lighting, and the hanging of garlands, the Advent wreath, and the Christmas tree. Senior honorees were chosen to conduct the readings and ceremony, while the University Chorale and the Bells of Buchanan led the congregation in worship. Senior honoree Larry McCutcheon said the hanging of the green is one of his favorite Samford traditions, and he was excited to be a part of it this year.
Well, Advent's my favorite time of the year, so nothing competes with Advent for me. And then to be able to do it here at Samford with hanging the green over here, it's a fun tradition. It makes you a little sentimental being a senior and looking back and realizing that this is your last one as a student, but it was a great night, a lot of fun.
Following the ceremony, everyone moved to the quad, which was lit by thousands of luminaries for the lighting of the way on Centennial Walk. As Dr. Westmoreland read the Christmas story and friends gathered together to take pictures in front of the traditional Christmas tree, Act of Congress began their caroling in Ben Brown Plaza. The concert was the last hosted by Harry's Coffee House for the semester, and as students huddled together with their cocoa and mittens, they sang along to familiar Christmas carols like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I love it. I love Samford during Christmas. It's really my favorite time here at Samford. It makes me feel like it's Christmas time, and Samford at Christmas is just so beautiful, and we have such a beautiful school, and just getting everyone together and the tradition of it is just so great.
I think it's a great thing that Samford has a Christmas tradition, and such just a special one that everyone looks forward to, and I just love seeing all the lights, and it's a great thing.
And if you happen to miss out on the festivities this year, you can be sure the tradition will be around Samford for years to come.
The School of the Arts recently presented its biggest production to date. On December 1st through 3rd, the theater department staged White Christmas, the classic Irving Berling musical. Reporter Matt Wombles has the story.
I'm standing in front of the Wright Center, where people are currently gathering to see Samford's production of the musical White Christmas. I was able to speak with students who were involved with the production, as well as view the play myself.
White Christmas is a musical based on the 1954 film by the same name. The story follows the lives of Bob Wallace and Phil Davis, 2 World War II buddies. 10 years after the Second Great War, the friends go into show business and through a series of events meet 2 sisters named Betty and Judy Haynes. Throughout the musical, the 4 wind up meeting the men's general from the war and helping him to have a white Christmas. Christian Nugent, a junior theater major, plays Bob Wallace in Samford's production of the musical. He said that the experience of White Christmas was something that he loved doing because of how big the performance was, as well as the environment surrounding the show.
White Christmas has been really fun because it is a family classic, and so it's kind of been fun to make it our own, but at the same time maintain the integrity and the tradition of the old musical. It has been one of the most loving environments I've ever been a part of. The whole cast, we're all in class together. A lot of us are roommates with each other. It's pretty much the best cast we could ask for, so it's been really great.
What makes White Christmas such a big deal at Samford is the fact that this is the biggest production that the university has ever put on. Junior theater major Stephen Rice, who plays Phil Davis opposite of Nugent, said that he has never done anything to this scale before.
It's been awesome. It's been long. You know, we've been working on it since May, and it's been big. That's the only word I can use to describe the show is big. I've done so many shows, but this is definitely the biggest. We sold out the Wright Center for a night, so it's the biggest thing I've ever been a part of. So,
In fact, this production was so big that Mark Castle, the director of the show, has had students working on it since May of this year. Matt Parker, a junior theater major, was the assistant set designer for White Christmas. He explained all the details that went into setting up the musical.
Well, we started working in May, doing the designing and casting. We were cast in May. And then starting in September, we started building. There's people at work anywhere from like 4 to 40 hours a week. This is the first show that we've done here that literally every single person in the department was involved. So it's kind of just been, I mean, it's unprecedented. You know, we've never done anything this big.
Now that the production is over, though, the students can now focus on their final exams as well as look forward to their Christmas break. This has been Matt Wombles reporting for Samford News Network.
Thanks, Matt, and congratulations to Samford School of the Arts. Coming up, I'll have the story about the recent karate tournament on campus, as well as the influx in anonymous Samford Twitter accounts.
And joining us tonight on the show are Ethan Asters, Brian Neighbors, and Michael Sadekny with some special Christmas music. We'll see you after the break.
The moon is right, the spirits are, we're here tonight, and that's enough. Simply have a wonderful Christmas time. Simply have a wonderful Christmas time. The party's on, the feeling's here, that only comes once a year. Oh, simply have a wonderful Christmas time. Simply have a wonderful Christmas time.
Cystic fibrosis. Cystic fibrosis is a disease that I was born with that attacks my lungs and my stomach. Right now, there is no set cure for CF, but with your help, there could be. Please help Cystic Fibrosis Foundation find the cure. Be a part of Great Strides. It's a walk to raise money for CF research and care. If you do this, you'll help me and everybody else with this disease. Thank you from all of us. Call 1-800-FIGHT-CF to get involved.
The screenings that happen here might be fun or dramatic, but it's not real life. There's another screening that is real life, and it could save your life. It's a screening test for colorectal cancer, the second leading cancer killer of men and women. Screening finds precancerous polyps so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. I got screened. Now it's your turn, so you can stick around and enjoy the show.
If you're 50 or older, get screened for colorectal cancer.
I'm William Shatner, and this is Jimmy. Animals like Jimmy are often left behind by people fleeing hurricanes, fires, floods, and earthquakes. These abandoned animals cannot survive on their own. If you must evacuate your home, please never leave an animal behind. If you absolutely cannot take your animal with you, never leave him helplessly chained or caged. Many animals die because they cannot escape fires or rising waters. Animals need your help. Thank you.
How you doing? I just want regular, no sugar today.
You got it.
Thanks. Hello.
Hi.
Did you eat that whole thing today?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hi, how you doing?
She's getting big, huh?
Good. Yeah, she is big. Great haircut.
Yeah.
Looks cute. Well, let's go. Nice to see you. Thanks a lot.
If only child abuse were this easy to recognize. If you even suspect abuse, call 1-800-4-A-CHILD. All calls are anonymous and confidential. Trust your instincts.
Hi, how are you doing today?
What looks good?
Our special today is shrimp scampi. It's been sitting around for about a week.
Excuse me. What time are you guys leaving? We're gonna rob your house tonight.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of a heart attack and other complications. Learn more at diabetesa1c.org.
Mini bar's right over there. Phone if you need to use it. Bed. And what is that? Oh, that's a double chin. The guy who checked out must have lost it just snacking on fruits and vegetables. Have a good stay.
My name's Brandon. I'm 9 years old, being alcoholic.
Hi, Brandon.
I'll start drinking with the older kids. And whatever they do, I'll do.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
I know it'll start with alcohol. I'm just not sure how it's gonna end.
Welcome back to SNN. I'm Chanel Terry. The World Oyama Karate Organization hosted its championship tournament on Samford's campus. I headed to Cyber Gym to get in on some of the action. Karate fighters gathered to prepare for a day of martial arts. After hearing all of the tournament rules, they set off for competition. Competitors stretched and warmed up as they waited to put their skills to work. Ages range from young children to adults, male and female, all fighting with different levels of experience.
Starts out with a white belt, and from there we progress to blue, and then yellow, and orange, and green, and brown with black stripes, and then black belt. Take a long time.
And although most were beginners, Samford students stepped up to take on some of the best. And winners were awarded with trophies and medals for their performance.
I felt like I did well for my first time, especially when I found out who I was fighting. Everybody in my division actually had more experience. Everyone has fought at least 2 tournaments ahead of me, so it was nice to get that experience and do well.
This is a great accomplishment. I'm a 350-pound fighter, came in 4th place against, smaller, faster, more experienced people.
And their simple participation in the competition made their instructor proud.
It is a lot of guts, so it's a big step up, to fight compared to when you're in class.
For 2 of the Samford students to place in the top half of their pool, excellent job. Samford performed really well. In the spring, the organization will host its World Cup tournament where fighters from all around the world will travel to compete. Students looking to find individual group study areas for finals space will be available 24 hours a day, Sunday through Wednesday. Davis Library will open until 2 p.m. The University Center Study Pod will be open 24 hours a day, and both Howard Room and conference rooms on the 3rd floor of the University Center will be available from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The CAF will be open from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., but no food service will be provided.
And if you're a student who feels like screaming due to the stress of finals, then you're in luck. Samford's traditional Midnight Yell is back for finals week, and those who wish to participate can gather outside of the library just minutes before midnight to scream their hearts out as the clock strikes 12. And if you can't make it to the library in time, then feel free to participate from wherever you happen to be. A number of anonymous Samford-based Twitter accounts have popped up recently, ranging from Mr. Beeson to Samford Swag. Josh Sizemore takes an in-depth look at the unique trend.
Over the past year, a number of anonymous Twitter accounts have appeared across Samford's campus. It all started with Ralph Beeson, the statue who tweets about what life is like being glued to this very bench. This led to a Twitter revolution across Samford's campus, leaving students to wonder, who are the voices behind these mysterious Twitters? We caught up with a few Samford students and asked them which of these Twitter accounts they like to follow.
Oh, no, I follow Ralph Waldo Beeson.
I follow Samford Problems.
I follow the Samford Problems account. I follow the Samford Swag account. And I also follow, my favorite is the Mr. Beeson, the Ralph Waldo Beeson Twitter.
I've heard of Samford Swag
I've never read anything from them. I'm really looking forward to looking them up in about 10 minutes.
As far as the identity of the people behind these Twitters, students could only take a guess.
Samford Swag, obviously someone not from the South, because they make fun of people who wear clothing that's popular in the South.
No, it's anonymous. Isn't it anonymous?
Using my own Twitter account, I was able to contact both Ralph Beeson and Samford Problems. The writers agreed to do interviews as long as their identities remained anonymous.
Well, I was walking around campus one day and walked by the Beeson statue, and I said, I bet you have a lot of thoughts. You probably need to share them. Do you want to start a Twitter?
And they had make your own bratwurst that day in the caf. And then there was all these high schoolers like making a lot of noise in the library, and it just pissed me off. I invented it in that Mac lab in the basement of the library.
And Ralph responded and said, I've been waiting for you for some time. You're the chosen one. And you will send my tweets to the world. And ever since, that's what I've been doing.
Many of these Twitter accounts have been greeted with mixed reactions from the Samford community.
I mean, some are pretty funny, others are pretty lame, and I feel like they just have nothing else to do but complain about the things that happen in their lives. Samford Problems. Samford Problems is someone who's just having a really, really tough year, tough couple days.
I don't know. To be honest, I get a lot of like negative things, like direct messages. I actually deactivated it for a while.
Overall, it seems pretty positive. I think people have always kind of wondered what Ralph's thinking, just sitting there on that bench all the time.
Apparently some people like me because I wouldn't have 1,100 followers if no one liked me.
People send me a lot of photos of themselves sitting on Ralph Beeson or hugging Ralph Beeson.
Both of these mysterious figures wanted to assure the Samford community that they love Samford, and they are simply here to entertain whoever will listen, and maybe even make the world a better place in the process.
World peace. I'd like to accomplish world peace. I think I'm just about there.
The Samford News Network, I'm Josh Sizemore.
Thanks, Josh.
And speaking of Samford problems, Beeson Woods residents have experienced a parking shortage this semester. Reporter Jake Davis has the story after the break.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since there's no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I've bought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, well, I hate going out in the storm. And if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. As long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
You promised me the world. Is this what you had in mind?
Every choice we make has a consequence. Help EarthShare and its members restore balance to the world. Visit earthshare.org and see what you can do. EarthShare, one environment, one simple way to care for it.
Is your TV ready for digital? Hello, I'm Chairman Kevin Martin of the Federal Communications Commission. By February 17th, TV stations will stop broadcasting in analog and broadcast only in digital. Your TV needs to be ready so you can keep watching. If you use an analog TV with rabbit ears or rooftop antenna, you need to act.
But don't delay, or...
Is your TV ready for digital? For more information, visit dtv.gov or dial 1-888-CALL-FCC.
Is your TV ready for digital? Hello, I'm Commissioner Robert McDowell of the Federal Communications Commission. By February 17th, TV stations will stop broadcasting in analog and broadcast only in digital. Your TV needs to be ready so you can keep watching. If you use an older TV with rabbit ears or a rooftop antenna, you need to act. But don't delay or...
Is your TV ready for digital? For more information, visit dtv.gov or dial 1-888-CALL FCC.
Let's go! Hurry! Metalcon! Metalcon! Metalcon!
Dude, why is your mom driving us to Metalcon? Remember when I bought us all snowboards on that credit card and never paid it back? Well, I guess they check that stuff out when you apply for a car loan.
Afterwards, we'll all go out for ice cream.
Don't let your credit put you in a bad place. Go to controlyourcredit.gov.
What my eyes have seen. Sending Michael off to kindergarten. His first baseball game. Graduation day. Mike and Lisa just had a baby. But I'll never see my granddaughter's face. I have macular degeneration, a disease that threatens the sight of more than 9 million Americans. Call 1-800-437-2423 for a free booklet on symptoms, treatment, and resources from Macular Degeneration Research.
Is your TV ready for digital? Hello, I'm Commissioner Adelstein of the Federal Communications Commission. By February 17th, TV stations will stop broadcasting in analog and broadcast only in digital. Your TV needs to be ready so you can keep watching. If you use an older TV with rabbit ears or a rooftop antenna, you need to act. But don't delay or...
Is your TV ready for digital? For more information, visit dtv.gov or dial 1-888-CALL FCC.
Meet the faces of influenza, groups who should be immunized every year.
I have a chronic medical condition.
Asthma.
Pregnant during influenza season.
We live with a baby under 6 months old.
I'm 14.
Age 50 or older.
Care for someone at risk.
The American Lung Association asks, are you one of the faces of influenza? See your healthcare provider about getting vaccinated. It's a safe and effective way to prevent influenza. Visit facesofinfluenza.org.
You're watching the Samford News Network. I'm Chanel Terry. With enrollment numbers continuing to climb at Samford, several parts of campus are experiencing issues with parking shortages, including residence area Beeson Woods. Reporter Jake Davis has the investigative report.
Parking in Beeson Woods is not too bad during the day, but it gets really bad at night from the hours like 2 to 5-ish. Whenever I'm coming back from a late night out or whatever, there's normally never any parking spots, and the closest place to park is normally down by the guard gate. Also, early in the mornings at like 7, I've heard a lot of teachers like to park over here in Beeson Woods when they're walking to their classes in the science building, which is kind of an issue since we already don't have enough parking for all the students that have cars.
Parking in Beeson Woods is kind of inconvenient because a lot of times there are a lot more people than there are parking.
I lived in Beeson Woods last year, and the parking was terrible. If you came late at night, like after 11 p.m., you were pretty much dead. Couldn't find a spot anywhere. And from what I've heard from my friends this year and from what I've seen, just the issue hasn't been resolved.
My thoughts on Beeson Woods parking are pretty negative just because I work on the Crimson, and so there's nights where I come back that are pretty late nights, and so past 10 o'clock, 10:30, just about every parking spot is taken.
So with the glaring lack of parking that students in Beeson Woods are experiencing comes many questions and complaints. I interviewed residents of Beeson Woods about the topic to get to the bottom of the issue.
And so I would just want to ask public safety if there was any kind of supplemental parking for Beeson Woods students that they could park in case spots are full or anything.
Are there any plans to improve the parking situation?
Kenneth England, Director of Event Management and Space Utilization on Samford's campus, and also the head of Transportation Services, assures students that these questions are being addressed. In an interview conducted with England, he said, quote, "We plan to develop a plan over Jan term to address the needs in Beeson Woods. We will more than likely redesignate other student parking zones to help with the overflow in the Beeson Woods area." It is apparent that Transportation Services is being proactive in their attempt to shore up parking in Beeson Woods. But for many students, questions still loom. It seems that one of the biggest issues for students is that they simply want to know where their money is going.
If I get a ticket for not parking where I should when there's no spaces, where does that money go?
England answered questions about ticket revenue by saying, quote, "All funds generated from tickets go to the University General Fund. The Department of Transportation Services nor the Division of Operations and Planning use the revenue from tickets." Parking has been a major focus for the university over the last 5 years, as they have added the freshman parking deck, the South Stadium lot, and formalized the plan for the West Campus lot where Ramsey Hall once stood. These projects resulted in a net addition of over 900 parking spaces. Although the issue of parking on Samford's campus is being addressed, Transportation Services has their work cut out for them in the near future.
So, with many students' questions answered, only time will tell how Transportation Services solves the issue of parking in Beeson Woods. For Samford News Network, I'm Jake Davis.
To file a complaint and find out more information on parking, email transportationservices@parking.edu. The Film Production 300 class will present their final films for the semester tomorrow in Brock Forum. Students have spent the semester writing, editing, filming, and editing original short films. The first film, The Sun Burns Out Tomorrow, is directed by Michael Klein, produced by Annie Lockwood, and edited by Logan Dillard. The second film is Fear, directed by Stephen Lyles, produced by Ben Barlow, and edited by Jake Davis. Take a look at this sneak peek.
Guys, where are you? Come on, this isn't funny. Taylor, don't let me out, please. All right, somebody, anybody, come get me. Taylor? Is that, no, Taylor? Please, dude.
Premieres begin at 7 p.m., so be sure to get there early to get a good seat.
Dr. Stephen Chu, Samford Professor and Psychology Department Chair, was named 2011 National Professor of the Year for Masters Universities and Colleges by the Carnegie Foundation for Advancement of Teaching in late November. Dr. Chu traveled to Washington, D.C., where he was recognized by the foundation, which has been handling the award since 1982. Dr. Chu has been a faculty member of Samford since 1993 and earned his PhD at the University of Minnesota, that is. Dr. Chu is not the first Samford professor to be recognized by the foundation. Dr. Larry Davenport was named Alabama's Professor of the Year in 2007, an honor that Chu also received in 2001. Coming up, we'll get the scoop on Samford athletics from our sports anchor, Jordan Cox. He'll recap the scores from Samford's basketball this week, and Stephen Lyles will give us the details on the volleyball team's trip to the NCAA tournament and a family legacy in men's basketball. All this after the break.
The news. I'd like you to go to unrefugees.org. Join our campaign to aid Darfur. Thank you.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
We train to any environment, any situation. It could be up on a mountain, on a cliff, it could be in the ocean, it could be a dive mission, it could be out in the desert or the jungle, Arctic, and that's what makes us unique. The motto of the pararescuemen is that others may live. When you go and you rescue these people, the look on their faces is extremely gratifying, and that's the reward in itself. I'm Captain John Fish, and very proud to be a member of the Air Force Reserve.
I was actually one of the first crew members to fly Katrina, and I wasn't prepared for what I saw. I'm not afraid of weather, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for it, because, you know, we do what everybody else tries to avoid. You can fly for 3 hours straight and never feel a bump, and then all of a sudden, for the next 10 to 15 seconds, you think the plane is actually going to come apart on you. I'm Captain Sean Cross, and very proud to be a member of the Air Force Reserve.
You are one paycheck away from poverty. One illness or injury from losing everything you own. Because you are one of 47 million people in the country without health care coverage. From the cubicle to college classes, too few of you have proper access. From common colds to the complex cancers, these are the problems. What are the answers? Learn, speak, act. Let's improve America's healthcare system. Visit cancer.org to learn, speak, and take action.
I thought indoor tanning was safe. They said their tanning rays were less likely to cause a sunburn.
What you need to know is UV light from indoor tanning
can cause premature aging.
And even worse, UV light can increase your risk of skin cancer, including melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer.
In fact, current estimates are that 1 in 5 Americans develop skin cancer.
And 1 person dies from melanoma about every hour.
I don't want to be one of them.
This message brought to you by the American Academy of Dermatology.
Great game, man.
Thanks. So you out? Yeah, good game. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey, you did
Congratulations.
Great game, man.
So let's go get a win! Woo!
Take steroids and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk.
Welcome back to the Samford News Network. I'm Jordan Cox. Men's basketball had a tough week during their 5-game homestand. The Bulldogs suffered close close losses to Western Carolina in their SoCon opener and Mercer in a non-conference affair. In between, UT San Antonio came to the Pete Hanna Center and downed Samford 74-52. The Lady Bulldogs took the road to open SoCon play and dropped 2 games, the first to UNC Greensboro, followed by Elon. The Samford volleyball team fell in their first NCAA tournament appearance to Cincinnati in 5 sets down in Tallahassee, Florida, ending their magical run.
The Samford volleyball team took the SoCon by storm this season, finishing a school-best 29-5 and bolting to the top of the SoCon standings. Garnering Samford's first conference championship and NCAA tournament berth, wins over SEC and ACC schools, and also having the SoCon Player of the Year and Tournament MVP, head coach Derek Schroeder says this season raises expectations around his program.
Well, I mean, next year we have the exact same team back, so we schedule a little tougher, so we can't expect the same results, but we can expect to take steps from improving our offenses, improving our defenses, improving our efficiencies, and that sort of thing. In the future, it just sets the bar higher, and that's a cliche and everybody says it, but Samford volleyball this year, with all the firsts that we had, first time in a conference championship, first time winning a conference championship, first time in the NCAA tournament, and pushing the team that we played in the NCAA tournament, it just pushes that bar so high now that even, my 2013 commitments, who I'm not allowed to comment on, but just to say them in general, they've already contacted me and said, I can't wait to continue the tradition that you're starting there right now.
With the entire roster set to come back next year, led by SoCon Player of the Year Elizabeth Neisler and defensive machine Alexis Bauer, the Bulldogs are primed to be the preseason favorite to defend their championship. However, Schroeder says the target will be on his team's back next season.
Knowing what it takes to get there is going to be very important, but even more important than that, I think, will be we have to look at the history of the SoCon, and the team that wins, the other 11 teams in the conference are going to give you their best game night in and night out. So Georgia Southern won it in 2010 and then struggled in 11 with a very similar team that they had in 10. We have the exact same team in 12. We have to know that we go to Davidson or we go to Furman or we have anybody in this gym, everybody's going to fight us hard every night. Now, that doesn't scare me because my girls are full of fight, so it doesn't scare me at all, but we have to realize it. It's something that we have to, look square in the face and say, that's okay, it's what's going to be.
The Bulldogs will have plenty of momentum heading into 2012. The athletic marketing staff hosted Monday Madness to boost excitement for the men's and women's basketball teams who have both kicked off their 2011 and 2012 seasons. Held in the CAF, both teams were introduced and a three-point shootout, dunk contest, and skills competition were held. Sophomore Chris Davis won the three-point shootout, while Brad Bostic and Ashley Cope took home top honors for the dunk contest. Samford Track and Field kicked off their season last week. Senior Kyle Kirby won the men's weight throw with a field best 17.9-meter throw. Cannon Burt and Tom Oliver both finished in the top 10. In the women's weight throw, junior Emily Allen took third place. In the women's pentathlon, 3 Samford Bulldogs finished in the top 5. Ashley Cope took home second place, while Christian McGee and Macy Conger finishing right behind Cope in third and fourth place respectively. On day 2 of the event, the Bulldogs swept men's and women's pole vault, with the women's distance medley relay and men's heptathlon taking home titles. 7 indoor school records were set along the way. And now we go live to Stephen Lyles in the Pete Hanna Center with a story on a family legacy in Samford men's basketball.
Thanks, Jordan. I'm here at Thomas E. Courts Arena in the Pete Hanna Center. Over the past decade, a legacy has been established on this court. A member of the Merritt family has been a part of the Samford basketball roster for the past 10 years. Earlier this week, I sat down with senior guard Jeffrey Merritt.
How much of an influence were your brothers on your decision to come to Samford?
They definitely were a big influence. Like I said, I've been coming here for 10 years, since I was like 10 or so, and when I was getting recruited by a couple of different schools like Denver, Indiana State. But my brothers just told me that Samford's just a great community, good campus, good school, and the guys in this locker room are good friends and they'll last forever.
And obviously Coach Gillette's had a big influence on you and your brothers, and he's been here the whole time. Can you speak a little bit about to what Coach Gillette means to you and also your family?
Yeah, Coach Gillette's a great coach. He's been with my family for 10 years, and he always jokes around with me, and ask when the next Merritt's going to come up because he'll start recruiting him. But he just been like a father figure to me here, and you know, whenever I need an issue or there's an issue, I go and talk to him. So he's very father-like to me.
And obviously, you and Kaylin are two of the leaders on the team. You know, Drew's been stepping up big in the past couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
Is the senior leadership, how important is that to the rest of the team and them thriving?
It's very important, not just only me being a leader. All the other 3 seniors have to be leaders as well, in different ways, whether it's on the basketball court, whether it's in the dorm room, whether it's during school. You know, they just got to lead by example and show the freshmen the ropes of how to be a college athlete.
Yeah. And with Martin Newton come in, what impact has he made on the team and just the Samford athletic community as a whole?
He's made a tremendous impact. You can already tell that, you know, Samford is getting more involved with sports. It's funny, last night after the game, he came in the locker room and all of us were in here and all the coaches left and kind of talked to us and just told us to keep our heads up. So he's definitely one of the best athletic directors that I've seen, and he's wanting Samford to be a better sports program.
Merritt and his teammates will take on Spring Hill this Saturday at home before hitting the road to take on the Kentucky Wildcats, the #1 team in the country. Reporting live at the Pete Hanna Center, I'm Stephen Lyles. Back to you, Jordan.
Thanks, Stephen. Chanel, that wraps up a busy couple weeks in sports.
Yes, it does. Thanks, Jordan. Coming up next, we look at the Samford Gives Back effects on the community, and we also take a look at the Christmas parties on campus. Stay tuned.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song.
When a soldier is injured, their whole life can change instantly and profoundly. A non-profit organization called Salute America's Heroes wants your help to make their recovery easier.
The coalition helped us when I first got home by helping us get our bills paid.
When they told us that we were getting a house, I was so thankful.
Thank you for giving me the ability to believe again.
To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Hi, I'm Virginia Madsen. This year I can think of no better way to stand up for what I believe in than to vote. Every election gives you the opportunity to express yourself and be heard. You have an extraordinary chance to make an impact. Register to vote so you can be heard. Find all the information you need about this year's election and how to register by visiting vote411.org. Register, vote, and be heard. It's all about freedom of expression.
A public service message from the League of Women Voters Education Fund.
Yeah, but did you see how much he had to drink last night? I can't believe that guy made it home. Nobody drives drunk anymore. Hold on, I got another call coming in.
While drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving and speeding fatalities have skyrocketed. Someone dies every 13 minutes from negligent driving, so keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and your phone put away.
Now let's talk about preventing cancer, heart disease. What should you prescribe?
Sulforaphane. Magnesium and chromium.
90 milligrams of ascorbate. True, but why not make it easier for patients to understand?
Vegetables, fruit.
Yes.
High-fiber vegetarian foods.
Exactly.
Research shows a vegetarian diet can help prevent diseases like cancer, obesity, and diabetes. Brought to you by the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. To learn more, visit nutritionmd.org.
My name is Jessica. I am 12 years old and I have cystic fibrosis. Cystic fibrosis is a disease that I was born with that attacks my lungs and my stomach. Right now there is no set cure for CF, but with your help there could be. Please help Cystic Fibrosis Foundation find the cure. Be a part of Great Strides. It's a walk to raise money for CF research and care. If you do this, you'll help me and everybody else with this disease. Thank you from all of us. Call 1-800-FIGHT-CF to get involved.
The screenings that happen here might be fun or dramatic, but it's not real life.
There's another screening that is real life, and it could save your life. It's a screening test for colorectal cancer, the second leading cancer killer of men and women. Screening finds precancerous polyps so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. I got screened. Now it's your turn, so you can stick around and enjoy the show.
If you're 50 or older, get screened for colorectal cancer.
I'm William Shatner, and this is Jimmy. Animals like Jimmy are often left behind by people fleeing hurricanes, fires, floods, and earthquakes. These abandoned animals cannot survive on their own. If you must evacuate your home, please never leave an animal behind. If you absolutely cannot take your animal with you, never leave him helplessly chained or caged. Many animals die because they cannot escape fires or rising waters. Animals need your help. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Samford News Network. I'm Chanel Terry.
And I'm In Monser. Around 800 volunteers from Samford University gave up half their day to work at one of the 25 sites around the Birmingham area in the university service event, Samford Gives Back. Reporter Leslie Graff has the scoop.
Samford held their third annual Samford Gives Back community service event on Saturday, December the 3rd. The event is hosted once every fall and spring by the university's Community Service Council and Omicron Delta Kappa National Leadership Honor Society. Work sites included food pantries, missions, schools, and churches, and several students came to MedMission, a nonprofit company that collects hospital equipment and supplies and donates them to mission hospitals and clinics in developing countries. I spoke to the leader, Jim Tucker, about his thoughts on Samford Gives Back.
When we have folks like this that come in and give up their Saturdays to work with us, not only does it encourage us, but it allows them to develop that sense of giving. We're entering the Christmas season, and that's what Christmas is all about.
Juniors Austin Murphy and Philip Levine shared a student's point of view.
Samford Gives Back is just a good way to kind of get involved in the community and just serve others and get away from just this Samford itself and get out and help Birmingham. And for us, we're at Medical Mission, something that we're involved in the medical field, and it's just a good way to get experience in your field and serve others in that.
Right, and it's pretty cool to be able to come out here on a Saturday morning, and even though you don't really want to get out of bed, once you get out here and you see like where everything is going, and you know these medical supplies that we take for granted, and they're actually going out to third world countries, it kind of gets you motivated to get out and do stuff.
Sororities, fraternities, academic clubs, alumni, and other organizations form groups that participated in the workday. Samford Sigma Nu fraternity came out to Fairfield City Park to play a few games of football with students that attended Restoration Academy. Whether it was building houses for Habitat for Humanity, packaging medical supplies, or just a fun game of football, Samford students completed another successful day of helping those in need.
But they are helping people all around the world without ever leaving Birmingham.
This is Leslie Graff for the Samford News Network.
Be looking for an opportunity to serve in the spring. Now that exams are in full swing, Shades Mountain Baptist Church is offering its traditional pancake study break. The church's university ministries encourages students to come out and enjoy free pancakes tonight from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. The event will take place in the student building located off Columbiana Road. And for a study break closer to home, Harry's Coffee House will be offering free donuts and beverages tomorrow from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Last week was a holly jolly one in West Campus as fraternities celebrated Christmas. SNN reporter Haley Rogers has the story.
Some of Samford's fraternities helped spread Christmas cheer this past week. Pi Kappa Phi held their annual Christmas party at their house on Wednesday night. I caught up with Henry Heaton to ask about his favorite tradition.
My favorite tradition is of the nativity scene, especially because I was baby Jesus when I was a freshman, so it's kind of special to see them carry on everything as well.
The nativity scene has been a long-standing part of Pi Kap's annual Christmas celebration. I also asked Henry what the hardest part about planning a Christmas party was.
The hardest part of planning something like this is making sure there's actually a population coming along, because especially towards the end of the year at Samford, there's a lot of Christmas-oriented parties.
Sigma Nu also entertained guests in Building F to celebrate the season. On Friday night, party attendees made snowflakes, ate cookies, and had a great time dressing up in tacky sweaters as a study break.
Christmas tree.
Sigma Chi also spread Christmas spirit by sending carolers to each of the sorority houses and the library and hosting a pancake breakfast on Saturday morning.
Come true.
I asked Santa about his favorite part of the evening.
Favorite part about being Santa is definitely being able to dress warmly in this cold weather.
A great time was had by all in West Campus. For Samford News Network, I'm Haley Rogers.
Looks like everyone had a great time. Thanks, Haley.
Coming up next, SNN reporters Matt Davidson and Leslie Graff spread a little Christmas cheer around Samford's campus. Stay tuned.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glowed. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer game.
What my eyes have seen, sending Michael off to kindergarten, his first baseball game, graduation day. Mike and Lisa just had a baby, but I'll never see my granddaughter's face. I have macular degeneration, a disease that threatens the sight of more than 9 million Americans. Call 1-800-437-2423 for a free booklet on symptoms, treatment, and resources from Macular Degeneration Research.
Is your TV ready for digital? Hello, I'm Commissioner Adelstein of the Federal Communications Commission. By February 17th, TV stations will stop broadcasting analog and broadcast only in digital. Your TV needs to be ready so you can keep watching. If you use an older TV with rabbit ears or a rooftop antenna, you need to act. But don't delay, or...
Is your TV ready for digital? For more information, visit dtv.gov or dial 1-888-CALL-FCC.
Meet the faces of influenza, groups who should be immunized every year.
I have a chronic medical condition.
Asthma.
Pregnant during influenza season.
We live with a baby under 6 months old.
I'm 14.
Age 50 or older.
Care for someone at risk. The American Lung Association asks, are you one of the faces of influenza? See your healthcare provider about getting vaccinated. It's a safe and effective way to prevent influenza. Visit facesofinfluenza.org.
I'm good at controlling what my daughter's exposed to, but sex is everywhere. I wish they'd make, like, sex blocking equipment so I could monitor everything she sees and hears. There's so much sex on TV. And the music these days, I just wish there was a better way to shield her from it. Because she's not ready to think about that stuff.
You can't control your kids' exposure to sex.
But you can influence how they behave.
So talk to them.
Tell them you want them to wait to have sex.
Hi, I'm Tony Bennett. They say the situation in Darfur is deteriorating. Let me translate. People are dying. We must do more than watch the news. I'd like you to go to unrefugees.org. Join our campaign to aid Darfur. Thank you.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
We train to any environment, any situation. It could be up on a mountain, on a cliff, it could be in the ocean, it could be a dive mission, it could be out in the desert or the jungle, Arctic, and that's what makes us unique. The motto of the pararescuemen is that others may live. When you go and you rescue these people, the look on their faces is extremely gratifying, and that's the reward in itself. I'm Captain John Fish, and very proud to be a member of the Air Force Reserve.
I was actually one of the first crew members to fly Katrina, and I wasn't prepared for what I saw.
I'm not afraid of weather, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for it because, you know, we do what everybody else tries to avoid. You can fly for 3 hours straight and never feel a bump, and then all of a sudden, for the next 10 to 15 seconds, you think the plane is actually going to come apart on you.
I'm Captain Sean Cross and very proud to be a member of the Air Force Reserve.
Welcome back. You're watching the Samford News Network. I'm Chanel Terry.
And I'm Ann Monser. SNN reporters Matt Davidson and Leslie Graff have been going around campus to spread a little Christmas cheer and asking students about their favorite Christmas memories and traditions.
Davidson.
And I'm Leslie Graff.
And we're here to spread Christmas cheer across Samford's campus.
Come with us!
Here today to ask Samford students what their favorite Christmas tradition is.
Favorite Christmas tradition that we do every year, my family always does a donut Danish feast after the 11 o'clock service on Christmas Eve, and so then at 11:30, 11:45 we go back and we have our Danish and donuts, and then it's Christmas. Everyone goes to bed and wakes up the next day.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
I would say it's A Christmas Story.
Why do you like that?
Because of the leg of the window, and it's a Christmas classic.
Matt, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas movie has to be Christmas Vacation.
I'm here with Thomas today, and Thomas, what is your favorite Christmas present?
A train?
Yeah. Jana, what is your favorite Christmas memory?
I'd have to say when I was about 7 and my sister was 5, we asked for snow. Growing up in South Georgia, we never had snow at Christmas, and we wanted a white Christmas more than anything. And what do you know? On Christmas morning, Santa brought us a room full of styrofoam peanuts for snow.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime.
We're here with Mr. Beeson today, and Ralph, what is your favorite Christmas memory? There you have it, folks. His favorite Christmas memory is... I'm here today to ask what Lauren Barry's favorite Christmas tradition is.
Thank you, Matt. For our Christmas tradition, on Christmas Eve, we exchange matching pajamas that my 27-year-old brother and 21-year-old self have to wear on Christmas morning, usually plaid of some sort. Really embarrassing. It's always great.
I'm here with Jolly Old St. Nicholas, and I'm going to ask him what his favorite food during the Christmas season is.
That'd be milk and cookies.
I'm here with one of Santa's helpers. I'm wanting to know what her favorite Christmas food is.
Candy and syrup.
Thomas, what is your favorite Christmas movie? Home Alone?
Home Alone.
He even has a green bucket for Christmas time. There you have it, folks.
That's the jingle bell. That's the jingle bell. That's the jingle bell rock.
Thanks, Matt and Leslie. Glad to see that finals aren't dampening the Christmas spirit. That seems to be all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for tuning in this semester.
And tune in next semester to Channel 37 to view future SNN broadcasts. Good luck to everyone on finals, and we hope to see you again next time. I'm Chanel Terry, and thanks again from the Samford News Network.